I'm Robbie with Delta Millworks. Today we're here with James from Watts Living. We're on a working cattle ranch here in Camas, Utah, looking at an amazing project we did with James here. James, tell us a little bit about Watts Living. What's you guys' approach to building? What sets you guys apart from others around here?
Yeah, so Watts has been in the Salt Lake and Utah market for about 50 years. And we like to build custom communities and custom homes.
Tell us a little bit about this project, kind of the backstory when y'all got involved. What's kind of the project overview here?
We were contacted by the owners. They reached out to us and we lined them up with one of our preferred architects who designed this ranch. This is a large ranch home on about 1,000 acres in the hills of east of Park City. So we were started early on in the project, and we're just able to be part of the design, the build, and material selection early on. The architect is Tim Ferner with Highland Group.
We like Tim a lot. Great guy.
It's the best.
Yeah, we did his home, his personal home, and he's been down to Austin to see us a couple times. Good guy. We did Accoya on this project. Accoya is one of our favorite woods to work with in terms of durability, stability of wood, rot resistance, has a 50-year warranty. Let's touch on your history with wood siding. Like when you first got into the business, what was available and kind of what has changed, not just with the wood itself, but how it's installed?
Yeah, I know a lot of our installers like to work with real wood. So early on that meant cedar. I mean, that was the option, was you're gonna work with cedar, on an exterior application. Sometimes you get it pre-stained, sometimes you finish on the site. And we did that for a lot of years. And we've seen what cedar does in this climate. It's not a perfect product, but it's kind of the best we thought we could get for quite a while. Then as soon as we came across Accoya and Delta Millworks and your ability to mill a consistent board that fit together repeatedly the same way, and then the pre-finishing where you're staining and sealing all 6 sides, I was sold immediately. Just the way it came together. You can install it any time of the year and it's sealed. It's ready to interact with the environment that it's put in. And so it was an easy decision for me to just move from cedar to Accoya, and it was an easy sell because homeowners don't want to maintain their products, right? Their wood, their siding, their home. They want to golf, they want to ski, they want to snowmobile, they want to enjoy their life, their families. They don't want to have to worry about staining every 3 to 5 years at this altitude.
Yeah, we hear that a lot, especially up here. A lot of these houses are second or third homes, and people just want low maintenance building materials. We did a 2-coat exterior finish on this, so that's a little unique to Delta. Most pre-finished woods you're looking at a single coat. So we try to get with our 2-coat systems, a 5-6 year plus performance between any serious maintenance, which traditionally for wood is pretty good, and the Accoya itself is going to last 55, 60 years service life. So really a lifetime wood. This project's interesting. They really went with one texture and one color on everything, not just for the siding, but the fascia and soffits. Very often we see the siding being one color, one product, and the soffit being another product. But on this one, they wanted the same look all around. I think it turned out really well. I think you guys did a rain screen system on this. Gives a nice air gap behind the wood.
Yeah, so we wanted a product and that would last a long time. So using the rain screen was a no-brainer for us. We started with sheathing, liquid applied weather barrier, and then we put our furring strips on top of that and then applied the Accoya. And so the goal here was low maintenance, durability, long lasting. We don't want to have to come back and replace boards. Using the rain screen just allows that back drying. It was a no-brainer for us, and the warranty that Delta provides doing the rain screen, again, just a no-brainer to have that durability, long-lasting material.
Yeah, the wood's looking really good. I was on site a couple years ago when the project was still under construction, and the wood was basically installed, but none of the landscaping was in. And yeah, the wood looks almost as it did when I was here a couple years ago. How big an issue is the climate up here?
There's years that we can have 6 feet of snow on the ground around this home, and we really haven't seen the effects of that. The Accoya is just a really stable product, and having used it on multiple projects and different applications, we're not seeing water stains or different issues that we do see with other wood products, cupping, curling. We're not seeing any of that. So that's just a tribute to, maybe the pre-finishing or the Accoya. It's just very stable, and the pre-finish seals it all in and makes it last a long time.
One thing with wood, at least traditionally, is acclimatization of the wood with cedar, and bringing cedar from, say, British Columbia, Canada, down to a high altitude, dry climate like this. That's something that is required with, an unmodified wood like cedar. I guess with Accoya, down to a 3% or so moisture content, I think you made the point, but it can be installed kind of year-round and not having to go through a week or two of acclimatizing. The moisture content could be 15% delivered, and then, with a softwood like cedar come down to closer to 10%. And with that change, there could be a shrinkage of the wood because it's losing moisture content. Let's talk about this finish on this product. I think the client originally was looking at like a wire brushed texture of ours, and I think they ultimately wanted something a little smoother, but still with some texture. So we customized our color on the bandsaw finish to match the color on the wire brushed finished a little bit.
They picked a color that fit into the environment. We're in the dry hills of Utah, and this just blends in perfectly. It's all one color, just to kind of not draw attention to it, right? It just kind of wanted to be muted. The texture gave it some character, right? We didn't want just a smooth, plain texture, and so that's been kind of fun to see that.
That's great, James. We appreciate the tour today and the insight. You guys do really great work in this area. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Robbie.
Yes, sir.
Look forward to many more projects together.
Yes, sir. Thank you.